All right, so we have with us today Chris Kozlovsky, who's going to do a demo, one of the best kinds of presentations, sometimes one of the scariest times of presentation, because the technology and internet gods have to be smiling down on you when this happens. So let's all hope that there's no like bumps in Wi-Fi or whatever.
It's all localhost.
Oh, it's all localhost. All right, yay! Chris is prepared. All right. So anyway, Chris used to work for GoDaddy. He worked there for quite a while. And Chris, I'm going to have you go ahead and tell a little bit more about exactly what you're doing. But then he began work with Pippin. If you are in the WordPress community, you probably are familiar with Pippin Williamson and Pippin's plugins. He is a pretty brilliant guy who's done some really cool stuff. And so Chris works with Pippin. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Chris and let him just go with it.
Cool. Thank you. Let me try and make this work without blowing everyone's ears out. All right. Is that good? We're set? Sweet. Good distance. All right. So tonight, there's already been a little bit of confusion on the Twitter sphere. Easy Digital Downloads is the product I work on. WooCommerce is another e-commerce platform. So I'm actually going to be doing 2 quick walkthroughs tonight on setting up WooCommerce and setting up Easy Digital Downloads, creating your products, configuring it with the bare minimums, and making your first sale. So hopefully 15 minutes per product. So it's actually 2 demos back to back. Kind of doing the same thing, but WooCommerce is more towards physical goods. It can do digital, but is typically for physical goods. And Easy Digital Downloads, while it can do physical, is geared pretty much towards delivering digital goods, PDFs, videos, software. So I created a little space. Hopefully this URL works. I've been having mixed results. chrisk.io/i/WPAZ will bring you to a page that I'm starting to build that has I'm starting to collect all my presentations from the WPAZ group. So they'll all be right there. I will have all the links that you will need in there as well when I'm done. So I'll do my little intro here. I am the co-lead developer of Easy Digital Downloads. Started that January 1 of last year, actually. So just passed my 1-year anniversary of that job. Oddly enough, got my first contribution to WordPress core this year in 4.4. And I'm also a contributor to WooCommerce and WP e-commerce. So those are the things I've contributed code to. Created my own plugin called Postmotor Pro. I've also got 17 plugins on .org, and I blog there, and I co-host a podcast that we started a couple months ago with a friend of mine. So it's about managing your software development career. So if you're interested in that, it's really just 2 guys who just like to talk about software development and what it means in your life. So tonight, I got a couple goals for us. I want to be able to activate both Easy Digital Downloads and WooCommerce, get that going, show you what that looks like. I want to be able to configure the essential settings to be able to make a sale, activate a theme that's specific to the store, both EDD and, I'm going to say EDD because it saves time. EDD and WooCommerce have their own specific themes they've built to kind of give you an idea of what a storefront can look like. We're going to add at least 2 products to each of the sites, and we're going to walk through the process of making a sale. And it's up to you whether or not that turns a profit because it depends on your pricing. And because of the time frame and live demo, I'm going to ask that if you have questions, we kind of hold them to the end. It just makes kind of going through easier. It's hard. It's really easy to get into a rabbit hole with e-commerce. So without further ado, let's start taking a look at EDD and WooCommerce. I'm going to start with EDD, the product I work on. This looks like nothing special. Oh, you don't see anything. That's why it looks like nothing special. Let's, how do I get that over here to you? Perfect. So just our WordPress dashboard. Nothing fancy about that. I've already installed Easy Digital Downloads. So I'm going to go ahead and get it activated here. You can actually just add it by searching the WordPress.org repository. And when you first activate it, you're going to end up at our welcome screen. Kind of gives you a quick getting started guide on what you would want to do. So tells you about getting started, creating products, what it kind of looks like, and purchase links. But we're just going to say you're gung-ho, you're ready to go, so let's start adding products. Problem is it's not really configured right, and we're working on our onboarding for that. So let's not add a product. Let's get into our settings really quick and make sure that we're ready to take purchases first. The first thing that you'll notice is Easy Digital Downloads creates pages for you. Gives you a checkout page, a purchase confirmation, a transaction failed, and a purchase history page, so people who are logged in can actually go see all their past purchases. Not always important, but you can set your base location. I'm going to put Arizona here really quick. Yeah, I'm in Arizona, and I'll save that. So that means now my store is set up for all my pages, and it knows where I'm located. We can ignore this for now. Currency settings by default in the we default to the United States, so we don't really need to go in there. It's just going to say where's our comma, what's our period for, you know, is that thousands and cents, $, euros, whatever. But the most important thing you need to do is activate a gateway, because in order to sell something, you have to be able to receive a payment. By default, we come with both Amazon Payments and PayPal Standard. PayPal Standard is the workflow where they hit purchase, go to PayPal, say, yes, I want to pay that, and it redirects back. That's the most common integration. So we'll enable PayPal Standard, and we'll show the PayPal logo on the checkout. And for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put us in test mode, so I don't actually charge my account for money, but a live store, you would leave that unchecked. So this is all just looking like configuring a plugin, which is pretty standard. You have to forget not to put in your you got to tell it what email address you want to receive PayPal payments at. Save. These are the essential things you have to set up in order to receive payments. And because I'm in Arizona and there is tax on digital goods as of, I think, a couple of years ago, I do actually need to enable taxes. We have a fully configurable tax table here. I can say that we're in the United States, and it's going to Ajax in my states here, and my side. I'm going to scroll a little bit. We are actually currently, because I'm in Queen Creek, I have to charge a ridiculous 8.55% tax rate. We give you the option to choose whether you want your prices to include taxes or not. So that's an option that most people usually just enter prices exclusive. I want my price to be $5 and I want tax to be charged separately. If you actually enter your prices inclusive of tax, your price would, you enter a $5 product, it would actually end up being that your product is really like $4 something and change, and we calculate the tax to equal out $5. So I'm gonna leave mine exclusive of tax. It just makes it easier on me. Some countries do require that there's tax out there. Yeah, we're okay with that. So now I've set up my taxes, I set up how I'm gonna get paid, and I've set up where I'm located. So now it's time to start adding a product. Easy Digital Downloads uses custom post types, so everything is managed over in the sidebar, just like posts and pages and comments. So I'm actually an author, so I'm going to sell an ebook. My ebook, we'll call it, let's see, how about, this might look familiar, one of my favorite books. So let's say that I'm going to sell my own book here, and I've got a bunch of demo content saved for myself. So, getting the hang of these multiple monitors here. Can I just mirror them? Is that possible?
You can.
Sorry.
It makes your screen size on that so small though. It's weird.
Oh, okay. That works for me because it matches that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
So I've saved a bunch of content for myself. Just an excerpt of some content. Let's save all that. And that's my content for the post. We're going to look at this and say I want my, let's say my price is going to be $4.99, pretty cheap, but it's an ebook, so we're good with that. I actually can, we integrate with the media manager, so everything's just like adding a picture to your site, only it's the file that the person's going to purchase. And I've got book number 1. You'll notice it's called The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, but at the top it says not really. Just for, so you can see a demo. So I've now inserted, I now have a product. And other than that, I can say I don't want comments on it. I can say the pricing, and other than that, let's see, let's add a category. So these categories are specific to downloads. These are not the same as your post categories. So I would call this, let's just call it books. That way, if I have more books, I can do that. And publish. So now I'm actually created a product. I could technically sell right now. We're going to do a little more than that, because I'll show you how things kind of look after a little bit. So let's add another one. We know there's 3 books in this series, so let's add 3 books. And yes, I know the name of all the books by heart. Let's go ahead and add my price. So we'll name all these at $4.99. So you can see it gets kind of repetitive, but once you kind of learn the workflow of adding your title, adding your content, and adding a file, really the file to sell, it's the same thing as creating a post. So if I were to go to my site now after I publish this guy, it puts me in mobile view. That's a little weird.
It's because it's so square.
I think this is Justin's.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, if I can get to it, because everything's so tiny. Sorry. All right. So let's view the site. It's going to look a little strange because it's going to show me a blog up front, which I don't really have a blog. I have a shop. So now that I've got a couple products, I actually need to set it to more of a storefront instead of being a blog, because WordPress in itself is really blogging. So if we look at the way the pages are set up, I always forget what the short ones are. Let's look at all my pages really quick. We've got the ones that WordPress created, that sample page. We don't really need that guy, so we'll just trash that and get it out of there. But we've got the 4 pages that Easy Digital Downloads created. If we know about the setting to create a static page as our home page, we're going to create our own home page at this point, and we'll just call it. So we got something there. Easy Digital Downloads is driven by shortcodes as well as post types, so I can actually just say downloads as a shortcode, and it will pull in a paginated list of all my downloads that I'm ready to sell by just adding that to the page. Let's see. Because I'm using EDD's default theme, we have something called EDD Downloads as a template. We've created these specific templates so that the content just looks great on the box. WooCommerce has done the same thing. It's having these built-in themes that the developers of the plugins themselves write really make it easy for you to see how it's supposed to look and how you can kind of take it further. So now if I view this page, we'll see that I've got this beautiful list of my books and the prices to purchase. However, if I go to the home page, I still have a blog. So we can actually change what my home page looks like really quick. Reading. And we went static home page. And we created one called, that's my home page. You don't need to set a blog homepage because it's just a little hack inside WordPress. If you don't ever want to have a blog, you can just not set that and it works. So now my homepage is actually my list of books. So I can actually go through now and say, let's purchase both of these books. And if we notice, we get a nice little checkout. My cart total is updated for both of the products. And we can just go straight to the checkout page and start the process of, we've got 2 books at $4.99. I'm in Arizona because I defaulted it to Arizona. If I were to change this to California, it would actually refresh the cart so I don't have tax. But I'll be honest, I'm in Arizona, I'll pay it. And let's see, my email address, we do require a name. I'll type that in. Or we do require a name first, but not last. And because of the tax reasons, just don't come hunt me down, I promise. So I've got my address, I've got my total, I'm gonna go ahead and click purchase. And we'll see this workflow. This is the most common workflow we see used for free. It's gonna take me to PayPal. You notice I'm in the sandbox mode, I'm not in live PayPal, so I won't actually charge any money, but they have this cool little thing I can say. I can actually make it think I'm making a payment. And it shows you your customer exactly what they're going to be paying, the descriptions, how much they're paying in tax. Over at PayPal, we send that to them so they kind of know how to display it to you and how to log it inside your PayPal account. It's going to say, yep, let's pay with my PayPal balance. Cool. It approved because I have tons of money in my fake PayPal account. And it's going to redirect back to the site within 10 seconds. So purchase confirmation, everything's done. This should reload. What we're doing here is listening for PayPal to send the token back to us saying, hey, we received a payment. It's good to go to tell them it's complete. You'll see mine says pending because this is local to my computer. PayPal can actually reach me. But on a live site, this would mark it as complete. The customer would have access to download the files. I will change the payment manually really quick. We do offer the ability to view all payments, modify them, set them to pending. If you find out it's a fraudulent purchase, you can actually refund it. You can cancel it, make it so the person never gets access. So we give a nice little screen here of, we actually want to say, this did complete. We received notice from PayPal. And now if I view my purchase confirmation, oh, I just got an email that said that a receipt. So now I can actually go through and the customer, once it's complete, can click and view the PDFs that they purchased from you. And that's pretty much all it takes. I'm going to, really quick, so I'm going to go over the settings really quick that are necessary. So it kind of showed you how quickly you can get going. But again, the necessary steps are to set the pages for where you want the customer to be able to view all their content. The checkout page, the purchase confirmation, transaction, and purchase history. You can go way beyond this and set up things like login, log out pages, so they never have to use that WordPress login page. There's custom templates for that. The payment gateway is your #1 thing. Before you even say that you're online, make sure you set up your payment gateway properly, and maybe even do a test purchase like I just did to make sure everything's looking right. We do offer the ability to accept credit cards with Stripe and all the other payment gateways, but those are paid add-ons. I didn't want to have to use a paid add-on to show you guys how to use it. We also offer customization of things like the email confirmation. So if you want your customer's purchase receipt, we give you a default one that simply says, dear name, thanks for your purchase, here's the links to download. You can completely customize this with either a visual editor or it's just like editing a WordPress post. Makes it really simple for you to go in. We also have a list of these things that allow you to say, you know, I want to tell the customer the price they paid. And I can just add that in there. So now in the receipt they get, it'll tell them how much they paid, specific to the purchase they made. And you can even be notified as the admin whenever a sale is made. This can get really annoying if your site gets popular. So we offer the ability to actually just not send admin notifications. So if you don't need to be notified of each purchase, you can actually turn it off. What I found is that with services like PayPal, or if you use Stripe, if you have their mobile apps on your phone and you make a purchase through one of those, you'll get an email saying you made a purchase, and then Stripe or PayPal will say, hey, you received money from someone. And then once your bank account gets the transfer, it's like, hey, we received money from someone. So you get like 3 or 4. It's just easier to turn some of them off. We offer full customization of kind of like styling out how your website's going to look. You can completely disable our styles and use your own if you're a designer type. We tend to focus on not over styling. We give you classes and IDs on everything, and we make it look as good as we can without taking it too far. We like to leave the styling up to the theme and the theming, the designers, because it's just kind of our mentality. We're not designers, so we'll let you be the designer. We offer plain text links to add to cart, a few different colors for buttons if you kind of want to go that route. The taxes, I know I quickly went over it. Let's say you need to charge a couple different rates. You can endlessly add tax rates here for different states. So if it's necessary for you to charge a different tax rate in different states, you can do that too. Our miscellaneous section is really, it's kind of where we throw everything that doesn't belong anywhere, hence miscellaneous. We are a fully Ajaxed cart, so you don't need to do page refreshes for everything. However, if you would prefer to not have Ajax loading, which is those fancy click to cart, then changes the cart to say it was added, you can turn that off. You can, as soon as they click add to cart, go straight to checkout. If you're a single product company, you can do that. We do support quantities. It's kind of weird for a digital product, but we do support quantities. So another big one we always hear about is terms of agreement. People want to have a terms of service. We offer the ability to say, in order for the customer to purchase, they need to agree to our terms of service. So that is an option you can enable for people. Another big one we get from our European customers is sequential order numbers, meaning that by default we work off WordPress post IDs, which are not always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because if you write 5 blog posts and then create a download and then create a payment, you're going to be in like number 7 as an ID. Your sale ID would be number 7. Some people, for accounting purposes, like to have my payments start at 1, my payments go to 2, 3, 4. They never jump. I guess in Europe it's a requirement that payments be in order, and if you're missing an ID in there, they kind of freak out. So we added that in. And that's pretty much how to use Easy Digital Downloads. We do have bundle support. So if it's a trilogy, I can sell all 3 books at once by creating what we call a bundle download. Let's add one really quick. I'll just show you the interface for it. In this, where you would normally add your download files, we actually have this drop down that says bundles. And then you choose products and say, I want to bundle both of these products with the purchase. What that means is when the customer purchases this bundle, they would get download links to any files you include. So you can create 3 products at a price point of $5 and then create a bundle at the price point of $13 and gives them a $2 discount to purchase all of them. So that's another pretty common feature. And I'm still getting emails about orders. Cool. So yeah, that's EDD. I'm sorry it's so small and looks mobile, but it's nice that it works mobile, right? This theme I'm using is called Vend. It was developed by one of our in-house developers. It is not on WordPress.org. Oddly enough, we decided to not put it on WordPress.org because we can handle the release cycles. If we find a bug, we can release faster via our own site than we can with WordPress.org, where you have to submit every update to a theme has to be approved. So we chose to sell it for free on our own site. Bring it up for you really quick. It is basically a free purchase through our site that when you add it to the cart or hit free download, all we do is ask for an email address, first name and last name, which lets us send you the receipt with your license key and your downloads, and then the download links. Basically gives you the ability to install it and activate it. We deliver our updates via our website, which is why the license key is necessary, but it is free, and I really dig it. It's one of my favorite themes that I've seen so far for our platform. It's simple, yet it has everything built in through the customizer. In fact, I don't know how this is going to work on the mobile view. This may or may not work, so hold with me here. It's all done through customizer settings. Sean, our developer for this, is really good. It's going to try and load up. What? Oh, I'm an admin on our site. Oh, sorry. Let's customize my local, not the actual Easy Digital Download site. So you'll see we integrate completely with Customizer. We can do things like change it really quickly, even hide taglines. So this is one of the things we've been focusing on, is making the setup process as easy as possible for our users. Change colors on the fly. Designers, work with me here. I know it's going to look terrible. So yeah, these are things that we all include with our free themes. So pretty cool. Check it out. The links are on my page for that. The links are on that URL I gave you guys. So links to Easy Digital Downloads itself, link to Vend, the theme, so you can get it for free, and a link to our extensions list. And so that's EDD. Let's go to Woo really quick. I'm trying to leave as much time for questions because e-commerce always brings up tons of questions. So I want to do that too. So WooCommerce is not activated. Let's activate WooCommerce. Has anyone used WooCommerce recently from a brand new fresh start? Yes? Awesome. what did you think of this? This is one of my favorite parts of WooCommerce, actually, and I really want to like, I don't want to say take this and use it, but I really want to mimic something they're doing here. This is a really cool onboarding process. E-commerce is typically really tough to get going. This is what happens when you install WooCommerce for the first time. They give you a nice walkthrough. Great interface. Yeah, let's use their walkthrough because it's just, I used it earlier and I'm like, this is a great way to do it. They're going to go ahead and, again, like we did, create a list of pages that we need. The shop is products, the cart, their checkout, and the My Account screen. So cool, thank you. They created that. I like it. And next thing they're going to do is ask us a few questions about our store. I am not in Alabama. I am in Arizona. Perfect. Since this is more geared towards physical, it's going to ask how you want your weights and measures to be. I do want to charge in US dollars. And again, you can always modify this stuff later. I am going to be shipping products for this demo. So this is the thing that they include out of the box that EDD does not, because you don't usually ship digital goods. I am going to ship goods. Total of $5 per order or $2 per item. And my international, we're going to double that because might as well. I'm going to enter my prices inclusive in tax. Now here's an interesting thing they do. They try and detect a rate. So they're going to set my rate at 5.66 because I think that's the default state tax for Arizona. But depending on where your business is based out of, you may have city tax on top of that. So they'll put a base in. You can change it later. And I'll continue on. By the time I'm done with this, I'm pretty much going to be done. Cool, they want my PayPal address. And I don't really want to take offline payments. You can if you're like, if you do, let's say you sell crafts and you go to craft, one of those things, the craft, like swap me type stuff where it's craft events, you can actually accept cash as the payment method and just create an order for them. I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to ship some awesome coffee mugs. Cool, my store is ready to go. They want me to create my first product, so let's go ahead and do that. Because I already went through the settings. That's the thing I like about their setup. On EDD, we went to create a product, but we had no settings set up. My settings are done. I can just get straight on to creating products. So my wife is awesome, so I'm going to sell a mug called Best Mom Ever mug. And let's see here. We want to create a category of mugs. I'm selling custom coffee mugs. And this is where it gets a little confusing. My wife is actually a WooCommerce user, so I got her on board using this. I want to sell it for $3.99. It's a simple product. You can also do downloadable or virtual goods. They also have a lot of different options for the type. For now, we'll stick with simple. I can actually set if the price is on sale. So I could actually try and do that whole pricing game and say, hey, it's usually $4.99, but I'm going to sell it for $3.99. It is taxable. My shipping is also taxable. That is another state level thing. And the interesting thing here is now that it's a physical good, I actually need to manage inventory. So I'll say I have 5 of these in stock. You can allow back orders or not. Very important to come in here and set this up. If you don't click manage stock, it will let you endlessly sell the product. So if you're doing physical goods, be very careful to come into the inventory management and set your limits. That way you don't end up overselling and have to cancel orders and things like that. Let's see, it's in stock. And my shipping, let's see, this weighs, I think I estimated it was like 1/2 or 3/4 pound. It's 3 by 3 by 5 inches. And that should be all I need. I don't think I need anything else here. Oh, featured image. Let's show them what the product looks like. And mobile, that's hard to find. They have the concept of galleries as well, so I can actually upload a couple files here and show you what it looks like. But they also have the ability to do gallery views. So you can upload a featured image, like any WordPress post, but you can also upload a set of images, which displays in a nice gallery underneath the product as well. Let's see, this is the Best Mom Ever one. Yeah, let's display that. Products. And if we preview this, I've already activated what their theme is called Storefront, and it is freely available on WordPress.org. I've already installed and activated it. So this is WooCommerce out of the box with their default theme. It's actually, it's ready to go. I could actually click add to cart and buy. I think, I'm not gonna do it yet. I'm gonna make another product really quick and then we'll do that. I think I have one other option I have to do. Let's save this. I ran into this earlier where it didn't set up my shipping correctly. So we wanna make sure we do that. Both products offer extensive reporting. So you can get sales graphs and earnings. So you don't have to go to your payment processors to do that. Let's see. I think it was in shipping that I have to enable basic shipping. Flat rate shipping is what they're calling it. They do offer shipping with UPS, USPS, FedEx, and they also have an integration with a group called ShipStation. If you've heard of them, they do all of those services. You just go through ShipStation, and then it goes out to all 3 services. It's actually a really cool service. Cool, my shipping is here. I've enabled it for this method. I should be able to purchase this. All right. And this is where that mentality of design versus letting themers take care of the design. WooCommerce has a lot of notices that look like this. A lot of people like it, some people don't. So it's kind of a matter of opinion. But they put this big notice that it's been added to your cart. So now if we look at my cart here, we've got the product, view my cart. They also have a 2-step process. EDD, there's just checkout. And checkout is the process to buy everything. WooCommerce has what they call cart, which is kind of the view of your cart, and a checkout process. So it's really a 2-stage process. Some people like it, some people don't. It's kind of one of those preferential things. Cool, my shipping cost should be updated. I have $7 flat rate, and I can go to checkout. We'll make an order. You guys thought I was going to give you my phone number. Sorry. And we don't. That's where I want to ship it to. So they'll take us to PayPal, just like oh, my address field is required. Oh, I didn't type in my address. Good form validation there. It's going to say, oh, we notice you're in Arizona. We're going to apply your state tax to it. Go over to PayPal. Notice they separate out. This is a really nice thing because you need it for the reporting purposes at the end of the year. It separates out the shipping cost from the product cost. Very important to have a solution that does that for you. And this should ship us right back. What? Oh, you know what I didn't do? I'm not on PayPal. I'm not on PayPal Sandbox. I would have just charged my own site. That's going to be under checkout. Yes, PayPal. Enable PayPal Sandbox. Don't want to do that on a live site, but you definitely want to do that on a demo site, or if you're setting up a site and trying to test it, you definitely want to do that. This lets me still do this. Cool. So we're back at there. This should bring us right back into WooCommerce. After I say yes, I agree. They've got the price over here on the right. I just can't see it. Awesome. Transaction complete. Let's go back to the site, and we get a nice little order received. So I just completed an order through Commerce and PayPal. PayPal, since they mostly do physical goods, has a couple different payment statuses that can be a little confusing at first. You'll see my order here that looks really bad on mobile. Let's open it so we can see it. So my order status is currently in what they call pending payment. EDD had pending, WooCommerce also has pending. What we're again waiting for is that callback from PayPal saying we actually did receive the funds, go ahead and mark it as paid. The difference is EDD being a digital delivery, when it's marked as paid, we just say complete. There's no further thing to happen. It's a digital product. With WooCommerce, there's a lot more statuses involved. Once payment is received, they mark it as processing, which means now the store owner has to go through and either package it, put it in a shipping container, do anything they need to for the customer side of it. Once they get it shipped, they can then mark it as completed. And that then allows the customer to get a receipt saying, yes, hey, your order's completed, it will be shipped. But that's the main difference with WooCommerce. Once you receive an order and it's paid for, it's in processing, it's not completed until you are done processing the packaging and shipping of it. That is the one thing that caught my wife off hand at first. She had all these things as marked as processing, and she's like, I don't know what that means. I'm like, well, it's waiting for you to ship it and say to the customer, we've completed your order, you'll receive it in whatever days. They have a really nice ability to kind of edit any details you need to see here. Tells you the order items that they took, they purchased. It gives you any shipping costs involved. You can kind of see a line item detail breakdown of what they purchased. You need to recalculate any taxes. And apart from that, it's as simple as saying, yep, we're good. I completed their order and save, which I think because of my mobile is up here. Both plugins also have really nice order notes or payment notes, keeping track of when things change statuses. Every single time a payment or an order in WooCommerce EDD changes the status, it's logged. And if it's manually done, it logs who does it. That way you know if you received a payment and it got refunded for some reason via, the person's like, I didn't approve that purchase or whatever, you can refund it and leave a note saying, I refunded this manually, and it will leave your customer or your username on there as the admin or whatever you're logged in as. We'll say they're the ones who refunded it. So has really good reporting on that. WooCommerce with PayPal will give you transaction IDs, will be stored in here. So you'll see a note with the transaction ID from PayPal, so which lets you go find it in PayPal later if you have to. They all do a really good job of that. You can even manually add notes, saying this is a note, and you can make it as a note to the customer, which will send it to them, or put it in their public view, or it's a private note just for the site admins. So now you can kind of keep a record of the payments. So if there's anything important happening on that payment, something unique, you can kind of leave notes about it on both systems. So yeah, the settings in WooCommerce, the biggest thing to remember is, again, make sure you get your gateway set up. They kind of take care of that through the setup process, which is why I really like Woo's onboarding for physical goods. They really kind of make it so when you get done setting up WooCommerce, you don't have to do anything but create your products and sell them. We're kind of looking at that for easy digital downloads in the future. We do have an open kind of discussion happening about how can we make onboarding easy, because that is the biggest hurdle that we run into. So I know, really quick run through, but I really want to know your questions on what parts of e-commerce get confusing to you guys, because that's really what I want to be here for. I've got two things set up. I can show you. So yes.
For the refund,
Yeah.
so let's say that there was like some inquiry and we need to refund. You do it all through the same settings here, and are you able to show an example with the demo, or?
I can't with the demo. The interesting thing about refunds is it depends on how you're receiving payments. PayPal standard you don't refund here. You can refund here, but if you refund here, you actually also need to go into PayPal and refund the money from PayPal. Things like Stripe, which is a credit card processor, both of these platforms have a paid add-on for Stripe that allow you to accept credit cards. If you refund it in here using Stripe, it actually calls out to Stripe and tells them to do the refund of the card. So that is unique to the payment gateway, not necessarily the platform that it's running in. So you'd have to see if the payment gateway accepts third-party refund requests.
PayPal Express does that though, right?
PayPal Express does. So PayPal's confusing. They've got like 3 different levels. There's PayPal Standard, which is what I demonstrated. PayPal Express, which is using PayPal balance, but it goes and they log in and it all happens on your site, but still pays through PayPal balance. PayPal Pro is like a credit card processor, but through PayPal. So yeah, it gets really confusing fast with PayPal. But yes, Express does support off-site refunding through the API. That's a good question. What's up?
PayPal Pro as well.
PayPal Pro, because it's credit card based and all through the API, does support it. Yeah. Yeah.
And you guys can get recurring payments for PayPal Pro and PayPal Express.
On easy to build downloads.
I've been waiting for this.
Hang on a second. Let me look. On our so we have our own product called EDD recurring payments, which is a product. We are in active development of our new version. And let me see if we've added it in there. That's interesting that you asked that, because that is literally my focus right now. Okay, see, I even have it open. There you go. Look at that. It's in 2.4. So we will be having our recurring add-on, which is really a subscription base. So you can use Easy Digital Downloads to sell a subscription to whatever your product is. It'll have PayPal Pro and Express support in it. Yes, as long as you have the PayPal Pro and Express add-on for EDD. We kind of just hook. You still need the core add-on for the gateway. We just hook into its libraries. So yes, it is coming. That's been a big one.
Another question. How does integration with SSL work? Does it force SSL when the customer is entering their payment information? Or
that is a great question.
Well, with PayPal, I guess if it's standard, then it's going to their site anyway.
Right.
But
I would still recommend using an SSL if you're doing e-commerce. SSLs have gotten to the point where they're so cheap, and there are services out there. Let'sEncrypt.org is one that's working up to do free SSL certificates.
Cloudflare does.
Cloudflare does. Cloudflare is great, but e-commerce gets a little iffy with Cloudflare because of the caching layer involved. When we run into problems with Cloudflare, it's usually like they can't process payments because people get their empty shopping carts and stuff like that because it's cached. So Cloudflare can work, but it has to take a lot of configuration. But yes, they do offer SSL certs through their service. I always recommend doing an SSL cert on the whole site, not just the checkout page, but both products support HTTP on the primary site, and as soon as they hit the checkout pages, it forces to SSL. So you can set that up, but if you're going to do SSL, I would just recommend doing the whole site in SSL. But yeah, it does have. We have an option in ours to force SSL on checkout. So there's options in both of them for that. Yes. And there's a couple of WordPress plugins that just force SSL across the whole site too. So that's something, if you have an SSL cert installed and you want to force SSL, you can do that too, if that's important to you. Anyone want to start selling stuff? Because it's really pretty easy.
With the Amazon payments,
yeah.
Do you see a lot of use with that?
That's still, I think that feature is about 8 months old. We had it on the Easy Digital Download site for a while, but we didn't get a lot of activity on it. It's a great experience. If you haven't used Amazon payments, it's when you enter a credit card, so let's say you want to pay with a credit card, you have to type in the credit card number, the expiration, all that junk. With Amazon payments, what it does is gives you the ability to log into your Amazon account, and then it comes back to the checkout page and gives you these two what they call widgets. And it shows you all the credit cards you have with Amazon that are valid. You click on the credit card you want to use, you click on the billing address you want to use, and you hit buy. So it's really like, and who's not logged into their Amazon account most of the time? So it's a really great experience. We didn't have a lot of adaptation to it, but I know a lot of people were asking for it from us, so we added it in there. But if you want a demo of it, I think do I still have it active? I might still have it active. I don't think I've updated the EDD site on this. So if this fails horribly, I'm sorry, but this was our test bed for Amazon when we were developing it. But it's got an outdated EDD version on it, so I hope it still works. Let's see here. Oh yeah, we were doing European testing because everything's in euros. Oh, please be active. Oh, it is. All right, cool. So I can pay with Amazon. I hope I remember my Sandbox account. That is not my Sandbox account. Shoot. Anyway, I'm guessing here, so give me a second. That's not it. You have to remember all these like sandbox email accounts. Darn it, I should have had this ready because I knew someone was going to ask about it. I didn't. I don't remember it, apparently. Yeah, I don't remember it, sorry. What it would do is replace it with just a widget of my credit cards that I have active on Amazon, and I can just click it and then hit purchase. There's no typing in your credit card number, there's nothing, it's all handled through a secure API that Amazon set up with JavaScript. So there'll be a couple updates to that coming soon.
That's an awesome user experience.
It's a great user experience. You know, here, because it's so cool, I want to show it. It's like one of my favorite features that we built. I think I have my gateway information in here. And if I do, it's going to be really cool. This is on an updated DVD version, so. I hope my API keys are still in there. They are, yes. Okay, cool. I'm just going to do a fake purchase on my site. I want to actually charge it. I just want to show this. And because this is live, not logged properly. I have a problem with my Amazon. You get logged in with multiple Amazon accounts multiple times. There it goes. So this is the view. So it says who I'm currently logged in as my Amazon account, and it gives me the credit cards I have on file with Amazon. Apparently I have like 2 pages of cards on file with Amazon, because who doesn't? You would click which one you want to use, it refreshes, and then you hit checkout, and it will actually just charge you Amazon's API. So it's really slick if your user base is Amazon, they use Amazon too. So I was really happy with the way that one turned out. I don't know the numbers on who's using it yet. We'd have to probably ask Amazon about it, but it would be really cool to see. But yeah, really nice integration. Questions on anything else?
Was that?
Yeah.
That Amazon checkout.
Yeah.
Did you guys build that whole interface for that? Or
No, that's their interface. That's all with JavaScript. It's a library they supply us with. WooCommerce has one for it too, and I believe theirs is also free. It's not bundled in WooCommerce, but you can download it for free. Ours is bundled into Core. We just basically dumped their UI on our page inside of our checkout screen. That's how they wanted us to do it. So yeah, it could use a little bit of styling love, but I think overall it works pretty well. I think there's a certain level of branding they have to keep in order for people to know that it's Amazon.
Yeah.
But yeah. Any other questions on getting set up, where to go? Yeah.
I've never done this before, but if somebody has an agreement with Bank of America that they're using their online paying services instead of PayPal or other things, could they easily figure that out in the configuration, or would they probably have to?
So like paying by ACH, like instead of paying by credit card, you would type in your bank info and pay, or?
Oh no,
Oh,
I mean for the person developing the site.
Okay.
Instead of using PayPal as the merchant, they're using their bank, because I know somebody told me that Bank of America has their own kind of
They have their own gateway.
They have their own gateway, yeah. And Chase is doing it. Chase has Payment Tech. I believe they've rebranded that to just Chase Payments. I think Bank of America has one.
Yeah.
You can do that. That is perfectly fine, but it's going to have to be something that's developed. Most people build these EDD and WooCommerce gateways to do generic like services. So Stripe is a gateway service, Authorize.net. They all go through those instead of direct banks because it's just kind of like it hits the general population better. But you can build a gateway. It's all you have to know is the API to send the data to and receive payments at. So there would be no issue if someone would have to develop it though.
Yeah, would it have to be like an add-on though?
Yeah, yep. I mean, it's just like, so all of our, so the ones that you saw are all built into these plugins. The Stripe integration, the Authorize.net integration, it's a separate plugin you buy and install it just like any other WordPress plugin. And it runs alongside both of the platforms. So yeah, they could just build a plugin that would work as long as they have access. Yeah, gateways are fun. Some days. Any features you guys would love to see in an e-commerce platform? I don't know. You already want PayPal Pro and Express. I know. I mean, the great thing about the e-commerce space in WordPress, it's really kind of interesting. You'll notice that I contribute to the other two of the other platforms. I've worked on their code base on WooCommerce and WP e-commerce. They've contributed to ours. People who develop WooCommerce have also worked on Easy Digital Downloads. Dan Cameron, who did the original presentation, or the first presentation, they use Easy Digital Downloads to sell invoices. Dan's a frequent contributor to Easy Digital Downloads. So it's the e-commerce space in WordPress is actually kind of really interesting because while we all compete to build e-commerce platforms, we all kind of also share a lot of ideas and things like that, which is why I use their onboarding process and I'm like, I really like that. I kind of want to do something like that with Easy Digital Downloads. iThemes Exchange has a good onboarding process. Theirs is just as good. If it came before WooCommerce's, so I don't know if it inspired it. The invoice view or the order view on iThemes Exchange inspired our customer view. So there's a lot of like us sharing ideas between the platforms. So while we're all different, we're all sharing the ideas of kind of where we're going with things too, to try and make the WordPress experience with e-commerce better. Because for a long time it wasn't good. It was really rough, but it's really come a long way in probably the last 5 years. So, yeah. Yeah.
Integration to any, no offense to anybody, real accounting, inventory control system?
Absolutely. So EDD has integrations with, I believe, FreshBooks and Xero. And I'd have to look again. Yeah, no, we don't take offense. The thing is we're not accountants. We don't do accounting. We do e-commerce, and we understand that reporting is great, and we try and provide a basic level of reporting. But anyone who's serious about their accounting is actually going to be doing everything via a service that does accounting. So we have integrations with, let's see here. Apparently we have a lot listed under accounting. So we do QuickBooks integration. We do, let's see here. I think some of our integrations with these are pretty old actually. Yeah, Xero. We're gonna have to go through this list fast.
On the WooCommerce side, where there's an inventory issue.
Where there's a what?
There would be an inventory issue.
An inventory issue?
Yeah. Because you said WooCommerce is more for the product.
Yeah, yep. So you want like an integration with the inventory manager?
So for example, I've got a friend who owns a specialty retail store.
Okay.
He's got 4,000 products.
Sure.
Okay. Wants to put it online.
Okay.
He's got a back-end system not only for accounting, but for all his inventory control. Pricing, shipments.
Okay.
That stuff's all in place. What he really needs is a web front end.
Right. So basically connecting an existing back end to the web front end for inventory.
Order release, payment, order acceptance, order processing, order release, shipment, creating the invoice electronically, decrementing inventory, let alone all the pricing stuff. I'm going to put this category of product on sale.
Yeah.
Pass it through the front end.
Yeah.
There's going to be a decent level of customization, custom development with that, but I know the great part about all four platforms that I have integrated with, that I've worked with, which is EDD, WooCommerce, WP Commerce, and iThemes, is they all are very developer friendly. So there are, if you know a good WordPress developer, there are at every point of the process where it says, hey, we sold an item, there is a section in there called a hook that the developer can say, okay, well, when an item sells, I need to know the quantity and the product ID, or the SKU, because they all support SKUs too. Send that off to my backend and say, by the way, we sold 3 of this SKU. They all have integrations for that. So there's the, or not integrations, there's a spot to integrate with all those. So yes, yeah. I had to try and figure out what your question was here for a second, sorry. I did make on that slide, there's a link called, where's my keynote, sorry. I put a link at the bottom here. If you guys can't, oh, way to go. That links to my listing of presentations, being only tonight's. I have links off to Easy Digital Downloads and WooCommerce's main sites, both of their stock themes that I showed tonight, and both of their list of extensions. So if you need to know or see if they have anything available for customization you're looking for, you can quickly and easily find it. Hopefully, everyone always say because I work with EDD that I should tell everyone to use EDD, and that's not always the case. Like, if you're doing inventory management or inventory anything, I steer people towards WooCommerce more often. My wife uses WooCommerce. Like, the WooCommerce guys get a kick out of that. But I'm an EDD dev, and I tell my wife to use WooCommerce. But it works great for her. It's exactly what she needs. So I have no problem telling you to use a different platform if it's right for you. So if you have questions, let me know. I will be hanging out afterwards a little bit.
All right.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Okay.